How do you make sure that you do three things? Stay in contact with all those people enough, add value systematically to them so it becomes predictable. And then how do I, at the same time, show them that I do what I say and deliver what I say I deliver, and show them social proof of doing that. So scaling, you need a whole, and part of the systems in scaling is branding, because it starts to matter. It doesn't matter as much in the growth stage. But if you want to go big or go home, you've got to have a brand. You've got to have it mean something, a set of behaviors and values. And then the last stage is the monetization. And that's where we catch companies, is somewhere in the scaling, when they want to scale or grow a lot more, and then they want to then take some chips off the table. And for that world, the big mistake people make is that world, the whole M&A world, requires a totally different skill set than what most advisors have, Duncan. And you've seen this. They can even get to the scaling, but when it comes time for who do I date? How do I know who to date? What do I even do while I date them? What are the do's and don'ts? What is a good deal? What is my valuation? The old world of go to one of the outfits and do a business valuation. We laugh when a company says, when do we do the business valuation? And we tell them, when we create a market for your practice, because we get you 3 to 5 offers, then we'll know what it's worth. Then and only that. And it's usually 1.5 to 2 times the valuation that they thought they were at. And we always ask the question with the client is, what do you think it's worth? Whatever they tell us, more often than not, it's worth more, not less. In some cases, a lot more, especially when you add the equity element. So that's the way I kind of view systems. I think it's phase-based. I think the more you move up in the food chain, the more strategic systems you need, the more you've got to put more chips down on relationships and less, because it is a massive time suck, and the sand continuously moves when you're doing all forms of stranger type marketing, because filters change. Email was the lowest cost, highest, most productive way to market to strangers for years. Now it's not, because the email firms was, no, we want you to use us. So we're going to put all these filters in here, and it's going to be harder to get through and get the ROI. So those are at least my high level thoughts.
Yeah, it's definitely evolving and more rapidly now with AI. So let's, again, a lot to unpack there. I do want to drill down into the end game elements. I'll tell you something, back to the beginning of your comment there, I've made it a pretty significant study around the somewhat cosmic qualitative concept of the law of attraction and the law of reciprocity. Mm-hmm. It's a real thing. There has to be outcome detachment on it. You can't expect it in terms of when it's going to click and get traction, but it's a real thing. And part of it, it's interesting. The last consultations I've had in the last number of weeks at such a high level, so many advisors are talking about what the next 5 to 10 years is going to look like for them. We're mapping it out. And it's funny, like so many of these advisors, they care like so hard, like it's they're so honorable. But the concept of servitude, I just remind them, I say, whose expense is their success coming at? Is it coming at your expense at all? Are there things that you're starting to dread? Are you falling into that sort of no good deed goes unpunished category to the point where you're almost self-sacrificing? You're trying so hard that now it's adversely impacting your life. And that's sometimes the power of having another set of eyes, a coach to just come in and respectfully say, look, I want you to embrace the concept of self-interest, where you're saying to the world, you're saying to the clients, your team, I'll take care of me for you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try my hardest, but I'm also going to take impeccable care of myself in the process. And what's interesting about this is, I wish I had a buck for every time I've had a conversation with an advisor who's said to me, I want to be out in 12 months. I want to be out in 3 years. And we get into it. Scenario planning, strategic planning, situational. We get into the weeds. Mm-hmm. And I start to realize some of the things that are lacking, like they're aspiring. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to travel more. I want to take better care of myself. I want to play pickleball or whatever the case may be. And we engineer through systems and procedures a more efficient, consistent business. The byproduct of that is the advisor's rejuvenated. Now they're like, okay, I'm not majoring in minor things. I'm not doing the things I dread anymore.